London, the city that never sleeps, pulsates with life and energy. Its streets teem with people, its landmarks are iconic, and its history is rich and storied. But beneath this surface of beauty and brilliance lies a darker side, one that hides secrets, shadows, and mysteries. With every cobblestone street and alleyway, a new story unfolds, revealing the macabre history and sinister secrets that haunt the city. From the illicit underworld of crime and vice to the occult and supernatural, the dark side of London beckons, promising thrills, chills, and adventure. Crime. In the mid-1800s, the shadow of terror descended upon the streets of London as a mysterious figure known as Jack the Ripper unleashed a reign of fear and violence. His gruesome murders in the city's impoverished East End captured the world's attention and left an indelible mark on London's history. However, Jack the Ripper is just one haunting chapter in a city with a deep and intricate tapestry of crime. Criminals have exploited the city's bustling population and thriving economy, leaving a trail of victims and broken lives in their wake. Do you want to know how big the drug problem is in London?
Yes. As we're growing up, children are growing up with small...
Watch until the end to uncover the shocking truth. But before we dive into this issue, let's continue to explore the dark corners of London where crime and gang violence thrive, revealing a side that many have never seen before. In 2017, the Grenfell Tower fire in London shocked the world and left 72 people dead. The tragedy was a result of a combination of factors, including a lack of fire safety measures in the building and poor communication and response from local authorities. The Grenfell Tower fire serves as a stark reminder of the devastating consequences that can arise when safety is not taken seriously and when negligence is allowed to flourish. While the Grenfell Tower fire was not a traditional crime, it highlights the fact that the consequences of negligence and disregard for safety can be just as devastating as intentional criminal acts. It also underscores the importance of holding those in positions of power accountable for their actions or inaction when it comes to protecting the safety and well-being of citizens. The aftermath of the Grenfell Tower fire also saw an outpouring of support and solidarity from the London community, with individuals and organizations coming together to provide aid and support for those affected by the tragedy. While modern-day London may not be as violent as in its past, crime still remains a pressing issue. Innocent individuals can become the targets of crime at any time, with devastating consequences for themselves and their loved ones. Gang violence. How does gang violence impact London? According to a study by the Mayor's Office for Policing and Crime, gang-related violence is a significant issue in London, with a high number of homicides and serious injuries attributed to gang activity. Gang violence in London is often linked to drug trafficking and other criminal activity, with rival gangs competing for territory and control. The effects of gang violence can be devastating, not only for the individuals involved, but also for the wider community.
It still upsets me to this day. It's people who spend time with.
Residents in gang-affected areas may feel unsafe and fearful, while businesses and property values can suffer due to the negative perception of the area. In recent years, London has grappled with a concerning rise in knife crime, leading to a staggering number of homicides attributed to knife violence. The city has seen more than over 150 incidents in the last few years.
Some bad heroin in the last few months. How many friends have you lost?
I think more than 10.
This surge in knife crime sparked public outcry and renewed calls for action to address the pressing matter. In response, the city implemented various strategies, including increased police presence, stricter knife laws, and community outreach programs aimed at tackling youth involvement in gangs. While the problem of knife crime in London is far from solved, these efforts have helped to reduce the number of incidents and provide support for those affected by gang violence. Oppression, violence, nuisance, drug. Oppression, violence, nuisance, and drugs are all too familiar to those who live and work in the city. From the historic oppression of marginalized groups to the modern-day scourge of gang violence and drug abuse, London has seen its fair share of darkness. One of the most notorious examples of oppression in London's history is the treatment of the Irish community. In the 19th century, the Irish were often marginalized and discriminated against, with many living in poverty and struggling to find work. This led to tensions between the Irish and other communities, and violence erupted in several instances. Drug abuse has been a persistent problem in London for many years, with addiction and overdose deaths on the rise. A wide range of drugs are abused in the city, including heroin, crack cocaine, and prescription painkillers. One example of the city's drug crisis is the rise of the synthetic drug known as Spirex.
They're scared of who you roll with or who you become now they're affiliated.
This dangerous substance has infiltrated various corners of London, including hidden back street markets, underground clubs, and even online platforms. It's been reported that Spirex is often disguised as a harmless party drug or sold under deceptive names, making it difficult for authorities to track its distribution. The use of legal highs and designer drugs has also become increasingly prevalent in recent years, leading to a surge in overdoses and hospital admission. Environmental damage. Environmental damage is a significant issue in London, with pollution from traffic, industry, and other sources contributing to poor air quality and negative impacts on public health. According to a report by King's College London, air pollution in the city is responsible for over 9,000 premature deaths each year. The report also highlights the disproportionate impact of pollution on low-income and marginalized communities, which are more likely to live in areas with high levels of pollution. Housing and health are also important issues in London, with a shortage of affordable and adequate housing contributing to a range of health problems for residents. According to a study by the London Assembly Health Committee, poor housing conditions are linked to higher rates of respiratory illnesses, mental health problems, and other health issues. Overcrowding, dampness, and poor ventilation are all common problems in London's housing stock. Particularly in the private rented sector. Final words. What do you think is the most pressing issue facing London today, and what solutions do you think could be implemented to address it? Let us know in the comment section below. We hope you enjoyed today's video. If you liked the video, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon.